A couple of weeks ago I made a video all about the best meals that I've had in Mexico, and I got tons of questions about specific restaurants in Mexico City. So I wanted to make a video all about the best meals that I've had in Mexico City, because this city is packed full. Again, it was so difficult to narrow it down, but I did try to narrow it down to 10 of the best meals that I've had in this amazing foodie city. I would love to hear what you guys think about in the comments if you've tried any of these places before. There are a few videos on my channel relating to some of these restaurants, so I will link those above as I mention them, and then again below in the description box. I'm going to start with the big hitters and the ones that I get asked about all the time. So as in the other videos, these are not in any particular order. I just am going to give them to you in a list of 10. So the first one is Quintonil. What an amazing restaurant. It's small, it's intimate, you kind of have the same waiter all night, the service is amazing. Unlike a lot of the other restaurants that are like at this caliber in the city, you have the option of having the tasting menu or they have like an a la carte menu, but we opted for the tasting menu. And it was amazing. I think it was 9 dishes in total. There were a few that weren't on the menu that were like tiny little sort of like palate cleansers. It was incredible. It was creative. It used Mexican flavors. It just blew my mind. The creativity of the menu was just so fun. The food was so flavorful, and it was an experience that I definitely will not forget. The next one is one that gets compared often to Quintonil. It's an email I get literally constantly, at least once a week. Quintonil or Pujol, and I couldn't choose. That's why they're both on this list. So yeah, Pujol, what a place. The home of sort of high-end Mexican cuisine in Mexico, one of the first high-end restaurants to be making Mexican food, using Mexican flavors, really like getting to the deep roots of where the food in Mexico comes from. You can't ignore that mole. It's really one of the most incredible sauces I've ever had in my life. It's a plate with an old mole. I think when we went it was over 1,200 days old. It was unlike anything I've ever eaten, but again, I mean, I can remember so many of the things on that menu. The octopus was one of the most magical things I've ever eaten. The ant larvae that's been sort of ground up into a sauce, and then you have like a little esquite. Oh, it's so delicious. Really, like, quite an experience. And in contrast to Quintonil, Pujol is a huge restaurant. When we went, it was packed full, and I think our reservation was at like 9 p.m. People were still coming in 9:30, 9:45. It's so busy, the turnover is intense, and I think every time we got a dish brought to our table, it was a different waiter, but everyone seemed to be really knowledgeable about the food. The drinks were incredible, the cocktails there were really delicious, and overall just really, in my opinion, if you love high-end food, if you love that sort of restaurant experience, it's one of the best that you can have in the country, without a doubt. The third high-end restaurant on this list, and one that I don't understand why it doesn't get quite as much attention as the others, is Sud 777. It's located in sort of a more southern neighborhood in Mexico City, so you definitely need to take an Uber there, and most people don't stay around there, but it's amazing. Like, the experience is amazing. If you know anything about those sort of like famous kitchens around the world, the chef at Sud 777 was trained at El Bulli in Spain, so his dishes are unlike anything that you have ever had before. The creativity is insane. The combination of flavors are things that you will never have had before. I wouldn't say it's a particularly Mexican flavor experience, but it's one of the best meals that I've had in Mexico City. It's one of the best meals I've had in Mexico. Almost all the wines on the list are from Valle de Guadalupe and near Ensenada. A lot of the ingredients are grown like on the premises in the like the garden that they have. It's a beautiful restaurant. The service is amazing, and the chef came out and like served us the first course of the tasting menu. Yeah, just a really amazing experience. And if you're looking for a restaurant that does something different to the rest, Sud 777 is the place. I highly recommend it. Pretty much everything else on this list is either a street stall or a really small little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, because that's what Mexico City is all about. These amazing little places where you can get amazing food really quick and for a very affordable price. So the next place on the list is a breakfast place, and a place that I miss so much right now, and that is Chilaquiles. If you haven't guessed by the name, it's a Chilaquiles place. They pretty much only do Chilaquiles. They do have a few other options on the menu, but the menu is literally like, which sauce would you like with your Chilaquiles, what size plate would you like, and what do you want on top? And there are tons of meat options. The salsa verde is amazing, the salsa roja is amazing. They also do their own like 5 chili or something sauce. Like, it's just an incredible place. It's always packed with people. There's always a line out the door. So don't go when you're hungry, because you'll be starving by the time it's your turn. But highly recommend. What a place for Chilaquiles. The next place is a place that I never would have found on my own. I actually found it in the guidebook called Mexico City, An Opinionated Guide for the Curious Traveler by Jim Johnson. When I first moved to Mexico City, this was the only guidebook about Mexico City, and he talks about the Coyoacan Antojitos market, not the main Mercado de Coyoacan. And inside this Antojitos market are little stalls that do deep fried quesadillas, and they are utterly magical. They're like 30 pesos each. You can have literally tons of different fillings, but my favorite is the flor de calabaza or the huitlacoche, and then some. With huitlacoche you don't necessarily need cheese because it's super creamy. And yes, Mexico City quesadillas don't always have queso. You usually have to ask that, that's an extra. And at this place you have to ask for cheese as an extra. But in my opinion, the huitlacoche, in that fried, perfectly crisp, with a little bit of cream, and they also have loads of different salsas you can have it with. Truly decadent. But the flor de calabaza with cheese, well, they also have requesón instead of like queso Oaxaca. Truly, my mouth is watering right now just thinking about the requesón with the flor de calabaza, a little bit of cream, a little bit of the salsa verde. Oh, you guys, I miss the market. I didn't want this list to be full of places to get tacos al pastor. Obviously, tacos al pastor are everywhere in Mexico City, and there are tons of amazing places to have it, so I had to pick just one for this list. And even now I'm like going back and forth. But the place that I literally think about all the time right now and that I want to go back to as soon as I possibly can is called Tacos El Huero. Not to be confused with Tacos Don Huero or other places that are called El Huero. There are literally tons of places. This place is like on the edge of Escandon and Tacubaya. I'll link below the locations of all of these places in the description box so that you can find them on Google Maps. But this place is the best pastor, in my opinion. It's so delicious, it's so juicy. There's one guy who deals with the pastor, and then all the other taqueros deal with the different types of tacos, and he is just, he's a magician. Like, he is doing some great work over there, and they're piping hot. Oh, and the loads of pineapple, really nice spicy, like chipotle salsa that they put on top of it when they serve it. I love when you go to a taco place, especially a pastor place, and they dictate to you the salsa that's going to go on it. That means they know their stuff, in my opinion, and they do at Tacos El Huero. It's the best pastor, you guys. It's the best pastor in Mexico City. There, I said it. The next place is a place that I've only had the joy of going to once, because I literally only went in like February and then didn't get a chance to go again. It is called La Tonina. They specialize in like northern style tacos. They make their own flour tortillas, fresh to order. They are amazing. You can go inside and just buy a bag of their tortillas. They're incredible. But the fillings are amazing. They have 7 or 8 guisados, all from like different parts of like northern Mexico, Sonora, Nuevo Leon, and the stews are unreal. The meats are so tender, the flavors are so rich. I think I had one of each. and then went back and had a few more of the ones that I'd already tried. They're small, so you definitely want to have a few, but they're incredible, and I can't wait to go back there again soon. I can't leave off one of the best places to have dessert, to have pastry, to have a taste of Europe in Mexico mixed with a taste of Mexico, and that's at Panaderia Rosatta. It's in Roma Norte. It's a little bakery. There's also another location in Juarez. I actually believe that the Juarez location is the original location, but yeah. Most people go for the roll de guayaba, which is the guava roll. It's super flaky pastry with like a nice guava jam in the middle, and it is delicious. However, the roll de limon is my absolute favorite. It's got like a sort of lemon curd under the pastry, and then with like it's cooked with a lemon on the top, so the lemon is super sticky and the roll is so good. Oh, everything there is delicious. They do sandwiches, they make their own bread, the coffee's very good. I usually get a pastry and walk over to Plaza de Rio de Janeiro and just sit there in the sunshine, and oh, the pastries are just so buttery and delicious. I definitely can't leave off Tacos El Turix. This is a little hole-in-the-wall place in Polanco that is doing, sorry, my friends from Merida, but the best cochinita pibil in Mexico. I'm sorry, but it truly, truly is. It is the best cochinita pibil I have ever eaten, and I tried a bunch of it in Merida and around the Yucatan and in other parts of the country, and I can't stop myself from going to Turix because it is so good. They have this nice like roasted habanero salsa. It goes on top, but you just little drip it on almost like an oil because it's so spicy, but they put pickled red onions in it. It's really like a wet meat. The sauce is just so flavorful. The meat is so tender. It's a messy affair, drips down your arms, but it's so worth it. Those tacos are unbelievable. And the last spot on my list is a little sandwich shop that looks like it hasn't changed its decor in about 70 years, called Loncheria La Rambla. It's located in the Centro Histórico of Mexico City, down a little pedestrian side street. And they do turkey sandwiches and they do ham sandwiches, but the turkey is like a huge, you know, like a Christmas turkey, like roasted in the oven, and so is the ham. And they are incredible. When you get there and you sit in one of the booths, you get this huge bowl like stacked high with all the pickled vegetables, the jalapenos and the carrots and the cauliflower to put in your sandwich. They have ice cold sodas that go perfectly with these salty sandwiches, and they load them with avocado as well. It's just so good. The bread is toasted, the meat is so tender and juicy. Oh, they're really small. I think they're 30 or 35 pesos for a sandwich, so usually I have two. When I go there I have one turkey and one ham, and then maybe Luke will get two, and we'll get a third one just to split down the middle, because they are really quite small, but they're so delicious. And the people there are so nice. Every time we go, it's the same waitress. It's definitely a family-run affair, and it's just, yeah, a little peek into the past and a really amazing sandwich. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love talking about food. As you can tell, I'm so passionate about this city, about this country, about the flavors of the food here. I can't wait to get back out and explore and eat more of the amazing food in this city, in this country. And I hope you'll come along for the journey with me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye!